Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to the podcast. So we have another guest with us and we have Maria. So hi Maria.
Hi.
Do you want to
Hey
start off by
guys.
telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do?
Sure. So my name is Maria Krauss. I'm 20-year-old singer-songwriter, and I have been releasing music for the past 3 years. It's just something I've always wanted to do, help others through the things that I go through.
Oh, I love that. We were kind of talking about this before we started recording, but can you kind of get into like your musical background, how you kind of got started, and if you have any like musical
Like
I
family
just blanked. Sorry. Yeah,
family members
like a
that
music
like
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Sure. I mean, ever since I was little, you know what really got me? You know Hannah Montana, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I
yes.
remember my mom pulled up pictures and videos. I wish I had them. I literally had a blonde wig on and I had a headset. Like, I wanted to be her so bad. That's literally like as far back
Wait,
as I
that's so
remember.
cute.
I literally wanted to be Hannah Montana. And I don't know, I just always had a passion for singing. And then going into middle school and stuff like that, I would do like the choir and stuff. And then I realized like the theater stuff wasn't really for me. I wanted to like make my own stuff. And then my parents got me in lessons when I was 13. And I think I lied. I did it for 2 years. I was in lessons for 2 years and then he left. But funny story, now he's actually back and we're writing together. So
Oh,
Oh, I
that's
yeah.
like
love
such a
that.
full circle like moment.
Yeah, it really is. And I actually met my producer through him too, because he would have his lesson right before me. Like it's so
Mm.
crazy. And yeah, no, growing up I just always loved making music because I had a hard time expressing how I feel. And I just kind of found that like my safe space.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you
And no, I haven't. I'm sorry.
sorry, no,
I
you're
was
good.
answering your
No.
other
Go
question.
ahead.
Don't have any family like into music or anything at all.
When did you like because I feel like when I was younger, I would sing all the time, but like I knew I was really bad. When did you like realize like, oh, I can actually like sing and do something with this?
I guess I'd say when my parents actually started paying for me to do lessons, I'm like, oh, I wonder why they're like helping me. But I was still really young. Um, uh, I don't even know. I just kind of did it for fun, and then it just started actually getting out there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So you would say your parents are very supportive of like your career choice now?
100%. Like I'm so lucky they support me so much. Like I don't even have my license yet, and they drive me everywhere, like New York, wherever I have to go. Yeah.
That I love that.
Mhm. Like they're supporting me 100%.
That's cute. What's your ethnicity?
I am Latina. I was born in Peru.
Nice. Okay, because I ask because I think this is more so a stereotype, but also I'm Latina. So I think when you kind of get into that like creative space of like wanting to follow either music or art or whatever, like most Hispanic parents kind of look down upon that. Did your parents ever like question the career path, or were they always very supportive?
So I believe they were always very supportive, but when I told them like I don't think I want to go to college or like I'm at least gonna study online, they were like,
Yeah.
like because I wasn't really releasing consistently or stuff like that. But then I told them, I'm gonna get into content creation and I'm gonna make my money off of that. Like they were like, okay, we'll give you a few months. Like you need to show us that you can make the money. So I started doing content creation for brands. Like I don't post it, it's something else. And I started making a good amount of money. I was able to support myself. And my mom's like, okay, if you're able to pay for all your music stuff and pay all your bills, you'll be fine. So
Yeah.
yeah, then they just kind of let me go from that.
Yeah. Wait, I love that. Also, because you're so young still. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. How old are you guys?
I'm 24.
I'm 26.
26. I thought you guys were like 21. Like,
Yeah, definitely look younger.
I know.
Um, but going off what you were saying, I feel like some artists kind of struggle with this, being like a content creator and an artist at the same time. How do you make sure that like when people come to your page, they see you as an artist versus just a content creator?
so like on my main pages, I don't really, I feel like I used to before, but now I'm not really posting any stuff like that. What I do is like I make content that brands buy off of me to use as their ads, so I don't even post it.
So like UGC?
Yeah, UGC. I didn't know if
Okay,
you guys
cool.
knew. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do some of that too as well. And it's fun. It's like a different like creative
Yeah.
outlet, especially like just like being on your phone the whole time and like making your own content. I feel like it's fun to make it like for someone else and not have to like have
Yeah.
the pressure of posting on your own stuff and like getting numbers and everything.
Yeah. 100%. And there are like times here and there where I'll take like some collaborations, but I don't like taking a bunch because it's just like I want to stay like true to myself and mainly do music. But then I'll like do some makeup stuff and
Yeah, I feel like if it matches your personal brand, it's fine. But then again, like I feel like sometimes some people take on like every single opportunity, which I
yeah.
guess is fine, but then it becomes like inauthentic or like not relatable. And I think you can tell when someone's like posting something because they want to versus they have to.
Yes.
100%.
100%.
Is that kind of how your song though got pitched to I saw Hulu, the Kardashians, like that kind of same vibe?
This is actually like so random. There was an agency that reached out to me last year, like when the song first came out. Like I was not expecting this to come now. It was
Yeah.
so out of nowhere. Last year we pitched with them and they're like, "Oh, we'll just get back to you." I never heard anything again. I almost forgot about the agency because I just never heard back. And one day, I remember I was feeling down about like my writing in the studio one day, like I was just getting upset. And I get a call and they're like, "Oh, by the way, you have the placement. It airs this day on the Kardashians." And I was like,
Stop.
what? Like it was so random, but like I was with my producer too, so it was like a really good moment.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Oh,
How does it work for like payment for that? Do they pay you like once just to use it, or is it like royalties, or how does that work?
Yeah, so depending on the agency, I believe it's an upfront payment plus royalties.
Okay,
So yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, very exciting.
I have another question based on like social media and all that. How do you kind of protect like your own mental health and like your headspace by being so present and sharing like your whole life on there? I feel like there's so much like with comparison or like negative comments and stuff like that. How do you protect your own mental health?
So I actually like never wanted to put my stuff out there. I was so scared. Like 2 years ago today, I just couldn't do it. And I had a friend of mine who's actually like blew up on the TikTok stuff before. Right now he's not on TikTok. And they would just tell you like you're not going to get anywhere if you don't do it. And I'm like, you know what? I was scared of like what people in school were going to think cuz high school and all that stuff. I'm like I'm going to be judged or people are going to look at me differently. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it cuz if I don't do it then nothing's going to happen. And I don't know, I just like learned to realize I'm doing it for me and not other people.
that's such a good thing to learn early on too, because it's like so true. And then you also get into that mindset of like comparing yourself to everyone, but like you do it for you, you know? So
No,
good
like
for you.
I definitely thank you. Definitely did struggle with like comparing and stuff before a lot more, but now I just realize I'm doing it for me. And obviously to help other people, but like I'm not gonna pay any attention to like all the negative comments and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say has been like the most rewarding part so far about your career and releasing your music?
I guess like getting all the messages and seeing all the people that actually feel it, you know? Like when you listen to music and you feel it. Like I just always loved that feeling because you just feel not alone and just knowing that I'm able to do that with my music is just like what I've always wanted. It makes me so happy because I wouldn't be able to do it without all the people listening. Yeah.
Right. Wait, that's so cute. Because I'm such a lyrics person. I think Amanda and I both are. So like we can definitely relate to that.
Yeah. Going off what you just said about lyrics, what would you say is like your favorite lyric you've ever written?
Favorite lyric. Oh my gosh, I have no idea. There's so many. Hmm. I don't know. guys. There's so many.
No worries. I mean, yeah, I feel like if there's more than one, what would you say has been your favorite song then that you've written lyrically?
Favorite song? I'd say I have one like an unreleased song that I
Okay.
really enjoy, and the other one that I really like that's out is Worst Enemy, but the acoustic version. I don't know if you guys have heard that one. I really, really like that one because I've always struggled, with like we were talking about mental health growing up,
Mhm.
and yeah, I just kind of put it all into that song. So it's really like a vulnerable song for me, but I love it.
Those are like my favorite songs to listen
I
to.
know.
And it like
Same.
hits. Yeah.
Because it just
Hmm.
makes you cry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
You just
You
need
need to
that.
release it.
Hmm.
Yes, of course.
Who would you say are some of your musical inspirations or people that you listen to personally that you enjoy?
100% Ariana Grande all the way. She is like my favorite singer ever. And then next, I would say Madison Beer actually too. Like I
Mm.
love like you just listen to both their songs are just beautiful. Like all the instruments and their voices just amazing.
I feel like I could definitely tell that those were your inspirations though, because you just have the same vibe for sure.
Really? Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. So I actually saw that you're opening for someone, right? Chandler?
Hmm. Yes.
What,
So
how
it's
did
just
that
for
come about?
one show in New York, but she posted a TikTok and she was like, "Oh, I want to like help independent artists, like get the chance that I never got." And people just started tagging me for New York, so I was just lucky because I honestly didn't really know much about Chandler. Like I've heard her music, and
Mm,
then yeah, I just got a message. That's so I was very lucky that the people that follow her were commenting for me.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really
I
cool.
love that. I love that like
Um,
bigger artists actually care about smaller artists because I feel like sometimes some people once they like make it, they don't like really
They,
care about anyone else, only themselves. So I love that. I feel like there's a few artists that I've seen that have been doing that or like they have like smaller artists like open for them for like 3 or 4 shows and like keep changing them. I think that's like cool and a way to like discover new people.
yes, I love it. I think it's so beautiful because it's like you said, they're just trying to actually help and they're not just thinking of themselves. Yeah.
yeah. Especially because I feel like they've been in that situation, so they know how hard it is to like get discovered, put yourself out there. So yeah,
Yes.
that's really cool.
It's very hard. That's also another thing, like not knowing like where it's gonna go.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really scary.
Yeah, it is very scary. Because like being fully independent, it's just like obviously it's like you don't have an investor, you don't have management. It's just like all on your own. So it's like a lot.
Right. No, literally everything's in your hands.
Yeah. I know it's
That's
scary.
crazy.
And another inspiration, because now that we're talking about like tour and stuff, I love Naraya and I saw that you guys had her on your podcast too.
Really? Oh
Hmm.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
so sweet. And we also saw her at the Greek in LA. She's so good.
I was she good. Oh my gosh, I love Naraya. Yeah, I remember I found her when she released like one of her first songs. Like I've been obsessed with Naraya for the longest
Oh,
time.
I love her vibe too. And like she's also like someone who's very like true to themselves. Um,
Yes.
and I believe she's also independent. And
Yeah.
going off of that, would you say you'd rather continue to be independent or would you rather be signed to label? Because I feel like there's such a like some people love being independent, some people love being with a label, but then when you're with a label, there's also like restrictions and you're not as like free. So what would you
Mhm.
prefer?
I would 100% want to stay independent for as long as I can. If anything, just like get a good management team and like investors, but stay independent for
yeah.
sure.
That reminds me of Madison's story because she was independent for so long. And I mean, now she's, with people, but even when she was independent, she like always had that mindset of like, I don't know, it was just like so, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I think being independent and staying on that route, I think is the best because it's just like it's all in your hands, and you don't have those restrictions or anything like that.
Yeah, like obviously with like owning your own stuff and just having good lawyers if that ever happens. Like it's just scary because then you
Oh,
see all these
true.
stories about like and it's just like, oh my God. I actually heard like Fifth Harmony, right? I have no idea if
Yeah.
this is true. Saw this on TikTok. But apparently like they didn't get any money out of all their songs they made.
I
Wow.
saw that
because
too.
of the isn't that crazy? Like the billions of streams, they just got
Yeah,
$0 from it to the
That
label.
is crazy.
that's crazy.
Hmm.
I've heard
That's
that
so
about other artists too, so I don't think it's false. There's just one artist I listen to. Her name is Mahalia. She's from the UK, and she was talking about how she hasn't made a single cent from her music, which is just crazy because it's like at the end of the day, like the only reason that other people that are getting this money from the music is because of the artist. So like the fact that they aren't even compensated is just wild to me. And I never knew that until like recent.
Like I think they give you like some sort of like almost like a down payment, but then they keep like you have it's like almost you have to pay them back from what they gave
yeah.
you.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
with all of the work that goes into it, like especially for girl
Mhm.
groups and all the rehearsals and like choreo and all that. It's like it's really crazy.
I just feel like there's like no, not saying there's no point of being signed to a label, but they basically reach out to you and are like, "Hey, I see you're doing it on your own, so let us help you." Like, so it's almost like they're saying, "We'll help you continue to do the same thing, but you're giving us part of the money."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I think
I don't know.
I think pros though is definitely getting that like a bigger budget to create.
Mhm.
Um but I don't know if like the pros would outweigh the cons or vice
Mhm.
versa. It's just kind of tricky.
Yeah, it's very tricky.
Especially, I feel like when you're smaller and you're signed to a label that has bigger people than you, I feel like you're like down the list and like not a priority to them. I mean, I obviously don't know because I'm not in it, but like from what I've heard, I feel like unless you're like big and like really making the money, like you're not a priority.
Yeah. Also from what we've seen from like certain artists that we like love, I feel bad because like they get signed and then they're kind of just there.
And they're like
Yeah.
stuck.
Yeah. Because, like, that's like, I feel like every artist's goal in the beginning. I want to get signed by a record label. And then you hear all these things and you're like, do I want to get signed by a record label?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because,
Um,
like, it's like almost they like feed you all these things and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, we'll make you famous. And then you're just like, you do whatever they say.
yeah. And like you've seen that with like so many people and like the whole Scooter Braun situation and
Hmm.
everything. Like, I don't know, it's sad. And like a lot of these people also get signed really young, so they don't really know much. And even their parents, like, how are you supposed to know like any of this stuff when it's like your first time like being in this industry and everything? And they kind of like take advantage of that.
Yeah. I actually did have a producer that I used to work with, and he wasn't a label or anything, and I can't say names
Mhm.
or get too much into it, but I'll tell you guys a little bit. This was two 2021. I have no idea how I found him. I don't even remember. I think he offered to shoot like a music video for me for free, and he was like, "Oh, actually, like I want to work with you. Like after that, like." I'll offer you this, this, and this, and this. And then he sounded so smart. It's like he knew exactly what to say, like almost like what a label would do, taking advantage of someone who's like 17 years old and knows she wants to be a singer. And like, I don't know, like he claims he had all these connections. And it was weird because sometimes like it would add up. And then there was moments where you'd find out he's lying. But then he had this huge studio and it's like, you know what I mean? And we ended up signing a contract and we were going to supposed to make like 30 songs, something like that, and we only made one song. There's only one song that I got out of it,
Wow.
and then I would just like was not able to do what I wanted. It was terrible, it was so bad, but he would keep me in the studio from like morning all the way till the next morning, like no food, like no,
Wow.
it was terrible.
Oh
And like
my.
he just yeah, and then he would just constantly be like, "You suck, like you should never sing it." Like he would just put me down and be like, "You're fat." I'm like, "Okay." Anyways. So I literally could not sing for the longest time after that. It was like
That's
insane.
so crazy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I feel like
Like
that's
that's like
the only story of that. I feel like it happens so often, especially for like women in the
mhm,
industry are just like treated like that.
Yeah.
yeah. Like you said, because it's like they take advantage of you.
Hmm.
Especially like
Mhm.
body image wise, I feel like they expect you to look a certain way. Like even with like I'm gonna use like Adele as an example, like people would always body shame her and everything. And then when she did lose weight, people were like, oh, like she used this, that, or the other, like, oh, like now she's like pretty and stuff like that. And I think it's just like, why can't people just enjoy the music and not judge people based on what they look like or what their body size is or anything like that? And I feel like, especially again, not even just for women, but like everyone in the industry, I don't know why there's such like a hyper focus on what people look like, because aren't we supposed to just enjoy the music that's coming out of their mouths?
Yeah, and I hate that so much, how it's just like, I don't know, it's always gonna be like that, and it just sucks.
Hmm.
Because like, what are we gonna do? It's just gonna, it's like everyone's always gonna hate on people no matter what. So
Yeah. I wish that would change, but I don't see
I
it
know, me
or it's
too.
going to be changed.
No, I
Same.
think it's only gonna get worse. Yeah.
Unfortunately. Have you ever like experienced like bullying to some like degree online?
Um,
I guess since you
luckily I have,
started.
yeah, luckily I have not, but I've definitely felt like judgment from like the people that I know.
Mm, I
Mm-hmm.
get I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's honestly that's like harder because they know you best.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that like stings a lot more.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it really does. And then like mainly in like high school, because it's just like I don't know, because like they wouldn't say anything to me, but I could tell they were thinking about it. I would hear people talking about it, but no one would ever say anything to me. But that just made me feel so weird and awkward, like
Mm-hmm.
going to school, like continue posting, and then I know they're all stalking me. It's like it almost like made me want to stop posting to
Mhm.
Yeah,
like a degree, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel that because in high school, that's when I first started my YouTube, and like people found it and then they were making fun of me in like the halls and stuff. And like somewhere to my face, but a lot was like behind like my back.
Yeah.
And like I actually stopped posting because I was like, oh my God, like this is so embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I feel like
Mhm.
those same people are the ones that like when you see success, like they'll be the ones congratulating you first and being like, oh, like I knew her before like everyone else, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So it's like, I don't know, it's so annoying. And I feel like people should just like support everyone. And I know like that's not the case
Yes.
ever, but
Like no, yeah, I 100% agree. It was just like it made me feel like I didn't even want to do music because I'm like, oh, like this is just stupid. And that's why like I hate high school. Like I don't understand why it has to be like that.
yeah,
Like I know Tate McRae like said she also had problems too, but she just kept posting. And now everyone's obviously going to her shows, the people that were making fun of her.
yeah, that's always how it
Yeah.
goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually
Even
heard the
like
same.
oh you
Sorry.
can go, sorry.
I heard kind of the same thing with like Ariana Greenblatt. She's an actress, but still kind of the same thing. And I'm like, I just don't get what goes through people's head. Like, why are you making fun of someone who, I mean, isn't doing anything wrong aside from the fact that they're like a public figure? They're not doing anything wrong to you. Like, why hate? And then literally like are suck ups whenever they get famous. It's weird to me.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Well, you know, they're actually chasing their dreams and the other people are just making fun of them. So they're actually
Oh,
gonna get somewhere. Right. Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I
Going
was
back to the, oh, sorry, were you gonna say something?
sorry. I said I was gonna say, like, speaking of the high school thing, I obviously graduated like 2 years ago, but when I got the Kardashian thing, then my friend posted on their Snapchat, then all these people were texting me and I'm like, they're like, how much did you get paid? And I'm like, why do you need to know that? I'm like,
Yeah.
they're like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like we
Not
should
even
hang out
saying
sometime.
congrats. That's the first thing they say.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, why are you on my phone? Like, I know you didn't like me because I was making music because you thought I was weird for
Mhm.
that. I'm like, so why are you texting me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I obviously
No,
don't say that much.
I've gotten the same thing because, which then it's like hard to see who your real friends are because you don't know if they're just texting you or reaching out to get something out of you or to like, I don't know, meet a person that you've met or whatever. So it's just like, it is really difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, going back to the music, your newest single, Don't Break My Heart, came out in May. What was your inspiration behind this song? And a two-part question, how did you go about promoting the song up to like its release?
Okay. So definitely actually speaking about Naraya before, she was actually one of the inspirations. Because my producer's name is Rory. We like both love Naraya and we were listening to her a lot. And I'm like, I want to make a song like similar to her style.
Hmm.
And yeah, then he just made that beat and we wrote it together.
I love that.
Mhm.
How long does it take you to
Yeah.
write like a song generally?
It really depends. Like when I write with my producer, it literally comes to us like that. Cause it's almost like fun. But if you sit down and you're like, I have to write this, and then it's never gonna get done. It like you have to be inspired and yeah. But like if you like sit down and think it's work, like you're like, I need to write a song, but I don't know what to write about, then you're gonna be stuck for like days. But it honestly just comes to you whenever. Could be like an hour, 30 minutes. Yeah.
Dang. Is there something like specific that you need in the studio to kind of get those like vibes right?
I'd
Whether it's
say
like,
like yeah, for like comfort, I feel like my parents, they're always helped me so much. Like especially from like the past that I went through, it was like I still have trouble like being so anxious and not being able to record. So
hmm,
having my parents there definitely helps 100%. Yeah.
nice.
And I don't think I answered your other question. I forget what it was for promoting Don't Break My Heart.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. For this one, this is actually like one of the first ones that I haven't really put down like a money like out of pocket towards this one, like unlike the other ones, but I posted a lot on TikTok. And I think I got lucky because I got on some like playlists and yeah, I released it in May and right now I think it just passed 24,000, which is like pretty good for like no promotion and stuff like that besides like social
Yeah.
media.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. But I definitely I'm like my goal right now is to find like some management or agency to help with content and stuff like that.
Yeah. Love that.
Super cool.
Well, going off that, I guess like one of the last questions I have is what's like next for you? Do you have any new music coming out soon? Are you working on anything?
Yes, I just finished recording my EP. So right now I'm just waiting for it to be finalized, but I'm releasing an EP soon.
That's so exciting. Do you have any plans
Okay.
or like do you hopefully want to go on tour? Who would be like your dream person to like open up for?
I definitely want to go on tour, but like being a smaller artist, you know. 100% Naraya, because I remember she was thinking about going on tour, and we do follow each other and we do talk sometimes. And I believe some of her fans pitched me tour management and they got in contact with me and they're like, maybe like if I Naraya herself told me if you get like if Don't Break My Heart like blows up a little bit, like I'll take you with me for some shows. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's exciting.
Wait, that's so
Cool.
exciting.
Yeah, but that's definitely like 100% the goal because she's like one of my
Yeah.
inspirations as well.
Yeah, that would
But it's
be
gonna be
such
so
a
hard,
full
you know,
circle
to
thing
like
for
get
you.
something to blow up. Sorry.
Mhm. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
but
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
definitely like
everyone
I
that's
need that.
listening to this should go listen to the song then.
Yes, 100%. Stream it. Let's go.
I know.
Well, that's
Yeah.
exciting. I'm excited to potentially see you then
Oh
live.
my gosh. Yeah, I would love that. Like oh my gosh, like that's like such the goal right now. And then when I found out about the Chandler stuff, she's actually friends with Naraya. Like I believe
Okay.
Oh,
Naraya
okay.
wrote on her song. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Like so maybe Naraya will see that I'm like opening for one of her shows.
Hmm.
Hmm. That's
That's
so
so fun.
cool. Well, listen, girl, if you ever need like a photographer, I'm here for you.
You're a photographer?
And Amanda can
Oh my
edit. My mic keeps changing.
Yeah, and I do like social stuff. I mean, we follow each other, so maybe I mean, I'm
yeah.
annoying on social media, so I'm sure everyone sees everything I post, but gotta do what you
Oh my
gotta
gosh.
do.
But thank you guys. I didn't know you were a photographer. And you can edit, Amanda?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Like what
got
do you
you.
Whole
do? Like
team
do you mainly do like photos or videos? Like what do you
for editing.
Mhm.
So I actually have my own agency, not to like self-promote here, but I have my own agency where I do video editing, podcast editing, and then social media management for businesses and artists. So that's what I do.
Mm, nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Very
Yes, we
fun.
love
What
that.
made you want to get into that?
Honestly, growing up, I was like that kid that like watched YouTube and like grew up on YouTubers, and I was like, oh my God, like I love content. And I would like always take my dad's like old camera and like film my brother and myself and like edit like really badly videos together. And then I started my own YouTube channel and I was like, oh, like this is fun. And then some people started reaching out and they're like, hey, like, do you do editing? And I was like, no, but like I could. And then I started from there. And then I went to school for cinema and communications. And then after school, I was like, I don't want to work like a 9 to 5. Like, I cannot do that. Like, that's not the lifestyle I want. So I just opened my own business and here we are.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you like taught yourself how to edit?
Basically, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's fun.
So, since our podcast is called That's So Us, what's one thing that if someone saw you, they would be like, "That's so Maria."
I mean, one thing that like I always go out with is obviously I always do a wing and I always have the big lashes. So I feel like that's one thing. And then I've always been told, like I never really noticed, but I wear leather like all the time. Like I'll have like a leather skirt, like I'll always have something leather, or at least like the leather jacket. And they're like, leather's just Maria's thing. Like when I go out. No.
Wait, I
Love that.
literally love that. And I'm so sad. I left my leather jacket that I've had for like so long in LA. So,
No.
so sad.
Rip your jacket.
I know. But I
Um,
love that. And thank you so much for coming on. And
Thank you for having me. It was nice talking to you
of
guys.
of course,
course,
before
you
you leave though, do you
too.
want to shout out your socials where people can find you, where they can listen to your music?
Yeah, so my name is Maria Krauss, and I'll spell my last name. It's Krauss. It's like that on Instagram, TikTok, and it's on all streaming platforms as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much
And
again.
I
Oh,
was gonna say, go stream, don't break my heart.
yes, blow it up.
Eh,